everybody, Prowl here, and we have more Hytale news again today, and we have some pretty good stuff to look at here. We have our first look above a map view of an Outlander village, and it is quite huge and quite cool looking. We also have official confirmation of backpacks. We have some Hytale RPG style news and a whole lot more. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right, first we have a tweet from TZ Hytale here. It says, Simon, it's possible that we can see some builder's tools in the exploration mode of early access. Something like a staff that puts blocks automatically so you don't have to build everything block per block. Simon did say everything you see in the upcoming blog you will get. There is a blog coming up this week that I think will have to do with like creative based tools. So they're going to be talking about some of that this week. And here's a really fun one. Simon posted Outlanders were too strong with a little afraid face. And we have a picture of a map there. And then KC Hytale says home icon equals spawn point ? And Simon says, I slept in their homes, killed their friends. No wonder they were mad at me. Hilarious. Now let's actually take a closer look at this village here. And first of all, let me just say this thing is massive. So this is an Outlander village. Outlanders are your like bad guy faction in I think zone 2, zone 1. Somebody correct me. I don't know. I think they're zone 2. And they're kind of your humanoid bad guy faction there. And this is a complete village of them, which is actually quite insane because in the footage that we've looked at before, we only saw, I think, like outposts and maybe like some like smaller like camps and things like that, but never anything this large. So I don't know how many structures are here. It looks like at least 20, maybe 20 to 30, I guess, somewhere in that range. And some type of thing, courtyard type thing in the middle. And we actually can see some really cool information from this map. We can see where there are little gravestone markers. These are locations where Simon has died. I don't know what makes these potentially get erased or disappear, or if you have to clear them manually or what, but they're there. We see where Simon is located right here, the little blue arrow. We see a waypoint set here, a little yellow waypoint. And then we see a house icon over to the left-hand side as well. This house icon is indicating where Simon's spawn is set. And he did say, I slept in their homes. So that would indicate that sleeping in a bed would be something that would set your spawn point. At least that's what we can derive from it at this point. But overall, these look really cool. Makes me very interested to see what kind of like treasures and items and things like that we will get from such a village. I also wonder, do the Outlanders continue to spawn in here? Or are structure spawns like this made in a way to where once you get rid of the enemies that they're permanently gone? And I kind of hope it's the latter. I would like to see them be permanently gone in here, or if they're not, if they can respawn, I would like a way to be able to block their spawning, because it would be a really cool, fun idea to maybe retrofit this area into some type of a base. That would be really cool to be able to do, I think. Now, I have a post here from Hytale News that says that iceberg generation looks so cool. And Simon did respond saying, that's old world gen. Wait till you see the new one. And we see a picture of the icebergs out there. And yeah, the way it's kind of broken up but grouped does look pretty cool. I'll be excited to see what those sorts of things look like in game. Next, Beefington asked a question that we kind of already know the answer to. He did say, are there going to be backpacks in Hytale? I can't explain how much bliss I'll be in if there are. And we've talked about backpacks before, because if you remember the inventory menu that we looked at, there was a backpack slot, but we did not see a backpack actually get used. Simon did confirm, yes, a quick version was added a few weeks ago for quality of life. So we will have backpacks in the game. Now, this does make you wonder a little further about how inventory management is really going to work, because while having more inventory space is going to be great, and also it's definitely going to help that it looks like things that you get a lot of have larger stack sizes, which should help like cut back on a lot of the clutter that we get. More inventory space at the end of the day can still lead to a big inconvenience. So it'll be interesting to see how do we interact with storage and chests to put things in. Are there any sort of auto sorting options? We know there's one on the inventory, but what other options are there for sorting your things out into chests and using them for crafting and that sort of thing? Are we only stuck to what's on our hotbar? Like the hotbar is the only hotbar that we have, or is there some type of button or shortcut that we can press to like select different rows of our inventory to be our hotbar. And then lastly, is there some sort of a pick block style button that we can click to bring whatever block that we're looking at to the front and into our hotbar to be able to use. These are all things that help a little bit with inventory management that I typically like quite a lot. So ultimately, we'll see how that's going to work out. Now, Silverboy asked Simon, hey, Simon, as of today, we have mostly seen gameplay focused on combat and exploration. Are you going to show anything soon for more casual farming community, for the more casual farming community? Simon said yes, with a big exclamation point there. So if you're looking for some gameplay footage that takes us away from the combat, which was fun, and I love it, I can't wait to do it. Obviously, combat can only take you so far in a game in terms of like your enjoyment. You can only fight so many things until you feel like you want to take a break from that in a game like this and focus more on that casual farming, building, resource collecting side of things. So we're probably going to get to see that this week. So make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of that, because we will 100% be covering it the second that it's available. Next here, we have a post in the Discord where Simon says our little block game is starting to feel RPG with some eyeballs here. And then here's a closer look at that image that he posted there. And what we see is an anvil menu. So he is at an anvil. This anvil seems to have different levels or tiers, because you see where it says Mithril Sword Epic requires Blacksmith's Anvil Tier 3. So your anvil, you have to upgrade in some way to be able to craft higher tier stuff, which I think is kind of cool. Starting at the top here, though, we do see different tabs for different weapon types. So you have a sword, a mace, an axe, daggers, and a bow. We do not see the crossbow here. Maybe this just isn't there yet. Maybe the crossbow isn't craftable and is only findable. We don't really know. And then inside of these different tiers, although this little text box kind of covers it up, you have different types of swords that are listed here. Now, I don't think that these are technically the only types of weapons that are available in the game. There's probably weapons that are drop unique as well. But I do imagine the ones you can craft are also going to be pretty powerful in their own right. So you don't have to find dropped weapons just to be able to do the content in the game. Now, we see most of a crafting recipe over here on the right-hand side. We see the mithril ingot. We don't see what it looks like, but we see that it is a thing. You need 6 of them. We see storm leather and a void heart. And this is looks like a higher or the highest tier weapon that is craftable right now. So these items are probably pretty hard to get. You probably have to go into some fairly dangerous areas to get these items, or maybe they are a little bit rarer to find. So you're going to have to do a little bit more looking around in different areas of the world and farming mobs or whatever to find these particular items. Now, it's important to note, and we talked about this in yesterday's news episode. Go back and watch that one if you haven't seen it already. But one of the things that Hytale is going to focus on is, while they want to give you a lot of these RPG elements, because I think a lot of you would agree with me, RPG elements are fun, but at the same time, they don't want this to just be an RPG game, because an RPG game is very vertically progressive. You level up, you get stats, you get gear that makes you more powerful and allows you to do the next thing and the next thing. And there's this like constant difficulty climb. And Hytale is not about that. Just to make that 100% clear to everybody watching today's news video, that's not what they're looking to do. They're looking for more horizontal progression when it comes to armor and weapons in the game. So what that means is these 3 swords at the bottom, yes, this one on the bottom right may be the highest tier available, but that does not mean that it is extremely more powerful than these other tiers. It may have some different type of status effects to it, or a different special ability that it does, or something to that nature. But from what Simon has explicitly said in some of the interviews that he's done, is that it will not necessarily have higher base stats to it. So their ultimate goal is to make it so even if you just like gather some iron and get all iron gear, that you can still do almost all of the content in the game. I'm sure maybe there's going to be a couple of exceptions like bosses or something like that. But in terms of exploring the biomes, gathering stuff from structures that you need, you're not going to have to interact heavily with the RPG side of the game It's going to be more something that you can do because you find it fun to do, and something that modders will probably take way further than what we see in the core game. Hytale Vanilla is going to be this base balanced experience, and then they are heavily focusing on modding of the game to make modding very easy and to present that in their core game as well, to where you can access mods and stuff like that. Again, check out the last news episode that we did. But essentially, you'll have modders fill that part out. So when you start playing Hytale, getting mods will be very easy, and people will get mods for the game made up very quick. So if you enjoy more of the buildy, farmy side of the game, you'll have mods that expand that. If you enjoy more of the RPG side of the game, you'll have mods that expand that. And if you enjoy just the base game, then you can just play the base game or get smaller mods that change that in minor ways rather than larger experiences. Anyways, that's all we can gather from here. I do have a question for you. I want to see you comment down below. We see 4 melee weapon types, and we know of 2. Actually, technically, we know of 3 ranged weapon types. We know there's a blunderbliss as well, a gun. So I want to ask you, what are some other types of weapons that you would want to see, especially melee weapons? What other type of melee weapons would you like to see? I said speed because I was thinking spear in my head as I said that, or a glaive. There's a lot of different types of weapons that I think would be really cool to see. Do you want to see these in the base game? Do you want to wait for modders to add these? Do you think this is enough? Let me know down in the comments below. Now here we have a bit of Hytale news. This comes from the Hytale news account. I have seen this elsewhere, so this is confirmed. Simon says, I think it was in one of the interviews, so go back and watch some of the interviews that Simon recently did. Simon says they found an open source alternative to fix the in-game cinema tool, which will take maybe 3 weeks to fix, although it will not be for launch. So if you haven't heard, there is an in-game cinema tool built into Hytale. Doesn't mean that you'll find it in vanilla, but it'll be something that you can see people mod into the game pretty easily. Basically, it's a media player in-game. So you'll be able to do something like this where you set up a movie theater and have videos playing. There could be a lot of cool implications of this. So this will be really cool and fun to see. Again, you will not see this in the base vanilla game, but you will see it as a tool for modders to be able to use and something that can be added to the game. All right, next here, while I was going through and editing, I got a response from Simon. He says, when I was talking about the ANVIL on Twitter, he said, there are a lot more, but none configured yet. Will be able for modders. So I don't know if that means that they eventually plan on getting to the more themselves, but it's just not priority. They have a lot of other things to do. So for there to be 4 solid melee weapon categories for a while in the game, I think that'll be okay. And then if modders want to like mod in some more and then people just want to enable them on their world, I think that's what he's saying. Unsure if he means though that, hey, there's other ones, but like we're not going to use them, modders can. But I do think he's saying that they plan on putting it in the base game at some point. Then next, here's another one Simon just dropped on us. So somebody said, hey, Simon, please give us that crazy old terrain generation in Hytale. Realism is cool, but this is fun. So please consider it. I did say, I think broken generation can definitely look good. And Simon replied to me with eyeballs. So I think that means that if you love this type of generation to be possible to happen in a world, you will see this. Either there's like biomes that just accomplish this, or there's just like plans with their new generation, which we haven't seen their new generation yet, but with their new generation, it allows for this type of thing to occur. So I can't wait to see what that looks like. And then finally, since we have a little bit of extra time, I thought I would show a few pieces of fan art that I saw on the Hytale Discord that I thought were cool. Here's one of some hippogriffs that look really cool, that the character can fly. I like that. That looks really good. Here's one that somebody did. It's called a Lich of Corruption. That looks really cool. I would not mind fighting that in game at all. And then this dude right here is scary. It's like a Minotaur type character and like decked out in iron armor and a big flail. Oh, that looks really cool as well. He's got an axe in his other hand too, so he's dual wielding. Oh, that looks really awesome. Some great work here by some people inside of the Hytale community. I thought I would look at those and show those. Oh, I think I have one more. Here we go. I already made sky biomes in Minecraft, and I want to also add them to Hytale. Maybe this person doesn't know that Zone 5, which we have not seen yet, is supposed to be Sky Islands. and we're hoping that it may be part of the early access. I guess we'll have to wait and see. And last but not least, I thought I would show you guys here on screen. I have myself my own Hytale character being made. You can't do this like in game. Somebody's making it in Blockbench for me, but I'll be able to use it in thumbnails and other artwork that I do. So a little sneak peek for you guys. Prowl is coming to Hytale. All right, everybody, that's what I have for today. I appreciate you all watching this video. You know what to do. If you like it and you want to see more Hytale, we need to keep pumping these videos up. Hit the like button, click the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. There's a hype button that you can usually press in the first few days. I think 7 days of a video coming out. You can press that as well. Share this video with others that you know are interested in Hytale and want to learn more about it. And as long as you guys keep liking these, I'm going to keep them coming. So thanks so much. I appreciate you all so much. I can't wait to get into the game. Probably another news video tomorrow, the way things have been going. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.